Time! I'm Murray, and tonight I'm playing Zeneric.
I'm Jazza, and I am Gunnar Frostclaw.
I'm Dragon, and I am the Game Master for this.
I'm Dave, and I am playing Ramos.
I'm Jen, and I'm playing Marie Van Ross. And we'd like to take a moment to say, if you can, come watch us live on YouTube. So we are on Tabletop Time Roleplay. We tune in on Tuesday nights at 8:30, if I'm correct, yes. So if you want to come and chat, hang out with us, you can do so.
And I would like to take this moment to thank this episode's sponsor, Legend Keeper.
Yes! Yay! Legend Keeper! That's right, today we're talking about Legend Keeper, and when I want to run a campaign, I run it with Legend Keeper. And why is that? Well, it's because I've tried other campaign management tools in the past, and none of them mesh with me. Meshing with me means simple, clean UI that fades into the background and doesn't get in the way.
My first impression with Legend Keeper is how easy it is to use, and you really can just like go from one thing to the next in the flow of creation like you've done here.
So the way it works is I've made a map up, I've imported it into Legend Keeper. You can have multiple maps, you can connect the maps, link the maps, and just drop pins. So let's say I've decided to add to the story and I want to put in a really cool NPC. Well, all I need to do is type a single command and boom, just enter a page. Oh look, we're creating a new page. We can do an icon, we can create a whole character right there, and it's linked automatically. You can use simple symbols like @ to add characters, link different articles and documents, nest maps in each other, add all these beautiful little icons onto the maps and color code them and name them, and it works really well for me. But there's also templates. There's like thousands of community templates to do anything. You can have full like towns mapped out where the services are in tabs, or you can have it like mine where the settlements are quite simple and I just have a nice bit of art, a few details, some hidden quests and secrets that my players can't see, because of course you can share it with your players in a private mode where they can't see your secret things, but they can see everything else, which is super cool. You only need one account to create and run the worlds, and you can invite as many people as you want to come and visit them and read through them and look at them, which means it's the perfect tool for a GM to run for their campaign stuff. You don't feel like you're building a website with HTML, which some other management tools feel like. It's really seamless. So I encourage you to try out Legend Keeper. There's a free trial as well, so if you just want to give it a crack and see if it meshes with you, it's a really good way to do it. Links are in the description, and thank you so much, Legend Keeper, for sponsoring us, and I'll be using it in the next campaign I run, but Dragon's on today, so I get to play.
Thanks, Legend Keeper.
Do you want to see
one guy in this clip? There he is. Yeah! He loves Legend Keeper.
Before we jump in, once again, I would like to just announce again that this is I would like to remind everyone that this is a non-canon work of fan fiction, a love letter to the world of Warhammer 40k. Please don't sue us, Games Workshop.
That's it, yeah.
Throw out that Team 4-star disclaimer every time.
I need that on a t-shirt. Just please don't sue us, Games Workshop.
That's actually... Using the word Games Workshop on the shirt will get you in trouble.
Yeah. Please don't sue us. They sue us for that, not the game.
Yeah.
Anyway. So
we should recap.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, following a strange power signature, the squad, that being the Space Bear, Gunnar Frostclaw, the Dark Angel, Zeneric, the second in command to the Sanctified Creed, Marie Van Hoss, and the Tech Priest Charon descend upon a newly, seemingly re-emerged Forge world. There they made a strange discovery following this power signature. They discovered an Astartes in strange ancient armor, locked in a stasis field, though for how long remains a mystery. Upon releasing the Marine, the power holding the stasis field in place was free to move around the rest of the facility, awakening the security detail. So as you watch various lights, pop up on the, spark to life around the roof, these chambers slowly start to open along the walls as these metallic clawed fingers grab a hold of the doors and wrench them open. These metallic robot faces pushing through the gaps as these security droids burst forward to attack you. Down to combat.
We're here. Okay, so we're literally like, here it is.
I believe I had said the end of the last episode shouted Silica Animus and basically said that they're a threat. Yes, and my plasma pistol was just discharged into a wall, which means I have no ammo.
really?
Plasma pistol only has one ammo, and I need to because it overheats. So I gotta cool it down.
Needs to charge. Oh,
So
no.
I don't think I'll be using my plasma gun immediately.
Oh, sorry, ammo for bolt pistol.
I
Can
mean,
remind me?
you have other weapons though. You have like a bolter or something, don't you?
Well, no one's commented on it, but I do have a bolter. We can deal with that later. All right. So, I mean, as we enter straight into it, have the creatures like moved entering onto the board, or have they got a movement already? Are we basically starting adjacent? Or
I will say that coming out of their various pods in the walls, that will be their movement. So where they've positioned themselves around, circling around the squad at this stage, is where they will have moved to. So their move is done.
Okay. And how much flesh is left on these
No,
things?
these are entirely droid. Like these are not the Skitari. These are the you recognize these essentially. These are the same droids that you saw previously.
They could be like men of iron. Who knows? I'm sus on them. Okay, so their movement phase is done. If we want to move, we can move. Does anyone like to move?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me at them.
Who I want to. I don't know how it would work in terms of like gauging the power efficiency of those that I'm looking at. Is there a way that I could like
The
use
enemies or us?
the enemies,
Okay.
like basically gauging out the toughness of them? Is it apparent?
How beefy are the foe?
Yeah. Is it? Do they all look fairly equal?
Yeah, they're all basically the same, like cut and paste.
In
copy
which
and
case,
paste.
I just turn behind me and launch into the one that's directly behind me.
So I'm turning around and lunging towards the closest one to you. Marie, you find yourself already adjacent to one as it clambers its way out of this pod.
Sorry, I thought you were talking to Murray.
Not Marie.
Marie. Yeah,
As you were. Marie.
Marie, yes. So, yeah,
I don't move.
excellent. So then Murray,
Yes.
Ceneric.
You're also adjacent.
I am too.
Yes.
Cool. In that case, I do not move, for I cannot move.
Yeah, excellent. Which leaves Ramos.
Always fight using your wits. I move behind the space bear and in between and closer to Marie Van Haas, the fragile mortal. Yeah.
Excellent. Well then, so that leaves, well, we've got 3 who are already in melee. The other 2,
Acting as meat shields to
Yeah.
the new.
I just
new
like
guy.
that we are currently back to back.
Yeah, it is cool.
Won't see that often.
no, that's
And the squishiest person is not in the center.
you hear like there's this strange, confused scream from the warp that sounds oddly wolf-like. The other 2 are going to, so the ones in melee are going to use their drag down ability on the ones next to them. The 2 over here are going to ready these, sort of arm-mounted bolters or blasters.
2 ranged ones.
Yeah, so that's going to be 1 for Ramos and 1 for Ceneric. You are free to act.
Ooh, yes. Now we get to
What kind of, do they look like energy weapons? Like, as a member of the Adeptus Astartes, do we have a rough vibe on what sort of guns they're using, or are they just esoteric?
No, they're just sort of generic, like, sort of looking like a energy blaster, plasma blaster sort of gun.
Gunnar immediately goes for the balls of
It's a robot.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't matter.
the
Thematically,
groin, yes.
it really matters because it's still the point of a point like we have arteries running through prone places. He's not going for like genitals, but he's attacking a place where wires and things are
Yeah.
clearly,
Looking for the
it's a tender place mechanically.
Yeah.
So he's going for a low blow.
Doesn't say.
Oh, excellent.
Your character,
love that.
even your zero cost, I think, has free mobility, so you can do that.
Okay, so you're going for the low blow as it's coming up overhead. Murray,
Cool. All right.
what you doing?
So, I, having seen Gunner go and engage first at the back, the new possible compatriot, for the time, will get the benefit of the doubt and is holding sort of the center. So I'm going to move forwards and tangle with these foes directly in front of me. And I'm going to use my ability Advance Through Cover, which is basically my special tactical ability to move forwards, charging through obstacles, moving around people, and then opening fire. So, before rolling, I'm going to move in any direction I want, getting around the I'm stuck in combat ability.
Oh, I see, because you're in melee. Nice.
And you're now still stuck in combat.
Yes. but
I'm stuck in more combat.
And one of these people was having a
He's
gun.
stuck in there with you. I see what you did there.
Now I can fire in any direction.
Exactly. So, I am then going to open fire in close range with my bolter on the one with the gun. That's probably more of a threat to the rest of my compatriots.
So moving up in between the two droids as they come sort of clambering out of the wall, you push yourself in between and turn to open fire on the droid that seems to be leveling a blaster at you. Cool. We got this side now.
Yeah. So Marie sees the droid in front of her, and she pulls out her rapier and is going to attempt a vicious riposte. Give him a good old slash.
Nice.
And Ramos, seeing this, says, "Get behind me, foolish girl!" And what? What?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Do you have a backup character?
It's because she's a baseline human, not because she's female.
no, it's just like, yeah.
Oh, no, it's just unpleasant in many ways. Yeah.
It's on a species level, you know?
Yeah.
And then he lifts his Hecker staff and then thrusts his hand, holding it towards the enemy that is fighting adjacent to Marie, clearly in a sort of protective way because he realizes the mortal is the most fragile, or assumes as such. Just turning his shoulder, his shielded shoulder, into the gunfire of the other one. And as he does it, I'm using Adapt and Strike. I'm going to give myself a Resist Stun as my body becomes basically a conduit for electricity. I don't know if they do stun, but I'm just guessing. So my thing is, before rolling, I gain resist 1 to anything I choose for the turn. So and then I arc out lightning out of my staff towards this figure.
Okay, so you're attacking this
The
one?
one that Marie
Yep.
is adjacent to. I'm ignoring the one shooting me and focusing on the one Marie is adjacent to.
Okay.
Rolling time.
So let's deal with, because yours is just a 1v1.
Let's
so we
deal
can
with you first.
deal with you. Let's go once again, go around in the same direction, because that's a 1v1, and then we've got essentially 2v1.
Okay.
And then a weird
My low blow
triangle
attack.
thing going on over here.
My low blow attack has critical hit.
Okay.
Which chat are the swelly purples or the G for good?
So I got. Oh god, cool.
Infinity successes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10.
How?
They have 6 dice, so that's...
Yeah. So how much of a mince do I make of the robotic?
How much damage do you do?
That's a good point. I guess that's the next logical thing.
That is
The best thing is he's gone for these spirit moves every
Wait.
time, and he's got the least of all of us.
critical damage. So 3 plus 1 for all my critical,
Which was 3.
Which was 3. So 6 damage.
6 damage.
With Pierce 2, I believe, on the claw.
That's right.
And Bleed.
Pierce 1.
Pierce 1. Okay.
Yes, 1. So they have 2 points of armor. So 1 point of armor. And they've so 1 point of armor minus that's 5 damage.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Bleed.
And bleed.
So if they
Bleed
move,
1.
they will take
Yeah.
damage.
So you like sort of like jumping, like charging, lunging forward as this thing like goes over top as you go underneath. Your claws dig into sort of the groin area, like the split at the legs, and just like claws upwards like a can opener, just rending through metal plates. It's basically like, now has like a very like high-waisted pants, but like this sort of very high split almost up to its essentially stopping at what would be its sternum. Inside you see these various like sort of cables hanging down, this odd green circuitry and shards of what look like glass or crystal. Just sort of hanging down, and it's still like, as you're sort of holding it there, or as you pull back, it sort of stumbles and sparks, but it's still trying to claw at you.
So it's not dead.
It is not dead.
There's 1 health left.
I
Yes,
am going to use a
2
great.
health left.
I'm going to. Oh,
Oh, they have 7.
7 health, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
okay.
They're zombies. They're robo-zombies. They're resilient.
Okay.
Don't spend all your resources.
All right.
I'm already aware of it. You've already spent like 3 or 4 spirit in the last 2 sessions against
Gotta do
moves.
it.
Well, no.
I got my spirit back. We rested.
They rested
Yeah.
from the first one.
So that's 1 spirit.
That was
Okay. How much have you got left?
13.
Okay, I've got 22.
yay for high level stuff.
I'm a
Well, do you guys want to go next since we're down here anyway?
I will go with
I
once
take
again.
it back. Go.
So, Generic, we have one going for a melee strike for you, the other one going for a suddenly point blank shot at you.
All right.
Cool.
Just as it is wished. All right. So, I'm going to roll standard attack. However, from my rapid burst of movement using my ability, I also have cover 2. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes. Good.
That was a
Nothing!
This bodes well for me.
Whole lot of nothing.
And the other one?
Yeah.
And the other one's going to.
Crit success.
That is 3. So that's. No, both of them.
I win.
Both of them suck. They've just woken up from like who knows how long. So.
All right. So I sort of deftly spin around this first enemy that is walking towards me, getting close to the one hefting up the gun, and stitch it right up the chest using the bolter.
Cool.
Mari's in for a rude surprise.
How much?
How much damage did you do, Mari?
6.
How much damage did you do, Mari?
2.
2 damage.
it's close range.
Yeah, so you actually basically like they get in and you'd be flailing with your gun.
okay.
So guns have a downside.
Yeah.
So you get in close, bringing your bolter up to fire. As you do so, the one at your back sort of like lunges over and isn't able to get through your armor, but basically slaps at your bolter as it jolts to the side, and it all shots just bounce off the outer plating.
That's fine. I have stopped it from shooting at anyone.
Indeed.
Oh, that was heroic.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay, so now we have.
Can we get them out of the thing after we rolled them?
So if we do this setup here, let's go with this one first, because this one's literally
And
just
then
going to be
We're
roll
going
off
with
yours.
the one in front of Marie.
So rolling the one in front of Marie, who is being attacked by Marie and Ramos.
Yeah.
So both of you roll your attacks.
An arc of lightning with 5 successes. And Jen, you have swords 3 using sword, vicious riposte. So you have 3 and 5, so 8 dice.
So a crit is another roll, yeah?
Only if you've got crit.
If you've got
Oh, okay,
crits.
okay.
Yep.
So it's not universal.
No. So 3.
Three.
3.
And you both got a crit.
Hang on, don't move it. How many misses?
I've got no misses.
Okay, so that
three.
the win goes to you.
Okay.
So this is maybe bears a little bit of explanation. We're trying something new, dear viewers, where rather than rolling off every time there's a match roll, as you can see, we're playing around with these custom dice, which are D8s, and they have a critical hit, but they also have a critical miss. So if both players, even though not all abilities use criticals in either direction, I used one that incorporates crits, but otherwise most of them don't. The explanation there is that if you have a matched roll, the most crits wins. They both have the same crits. Therefore, the most crit losses, the most crit misses, then loses. And Jen had more crit.
It's just to
misses.
avoid rerolls
Yeah,
and slow
exactly.
down that.
Okay, that's it.
Okie dokie.
Excellent. So, you beat it.
Yep, so I
But
hit it hits Jen.
It hits Jen.
And the other one's shooting me. Do we want to do that
Yeah,
after?
let's do that one. What,
I got
you
five
got 5.
successes.
Yeah. So literally needing it. I got 1.
Turning in that big shoulder pad always
Yeah.
pays off.
So as sorry,
I didn't say anything.
I'm sorry. I'm like,
As it went ping.
I thought it was just like Ken, and I'm like,
No, it was,
yeah.
I was contributing nothing of value.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Apparently there's an occasional audio crackle according to viewers. So just something to be aware of. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe a cable getting rustled and going.
So, sorry, got completely sidetracked there. So you go to strike at this, droid as it comes clambering for you. As you go to slash at it, it ducks to one side and then lunges forward. These long, sort of almost like needle-like claws just slamming into your shoulder. You take 4 points of damage.
Okay.
How much armor do you have?
So I have a shield.
Oh! What? Jen's refractor shield crackles and hisses as it rebuffs the attack. So, the way that this works...
What
'cause
attack did
It's
you
so
use?
fun. I feel sorry for Dragon. Dragon's GMing, but I'm like, I'm writing the rules of the game and we're playtesting. So, Jen has a refractor field. It gives her a special rule that was being playtested.
Okay.
It's called Shield. She has Shield 1. The first time she is hit in every combat, that hit is completely negated outright.
Cool.
But then it pops. So it doesn't matter if it's a flick, a hit that does 1 damage and her armor would have negated
a
it,
nuke.
or a massive club from a big
Yeah.
villain. It'll stop 1 and pop. But she has less armor than us in power armor. But that refractor field every combat is like a free hit that just like takes the hit and then it goes down to repower.
Cool.
So yay!
I like that. Nice.
Jen, would you like to describe how your shield... would you like to describe your shield and also the action that it takes?
So as Marie goes to swing with her rapier and misses, she shouts, "Confound it!" And then as it hits her, the shield comes up, kind of like the grid that's kind of on the map where it's the hexagons.
Okay, so it's like a full,
Like a
just
full, yeah.
So as it, as you take your swing and it ducks to one side and you sort of turn to look, you see these needle claws coming up from underneath, aimed towards your shoulder. Suddenly you see this build up of blue energy in front of you. As the claws intersected, it shatters like glass, turning into these sort of sparks of electricity. And it just burst back. What does yours do?
So, I shoot an arc of lightning. Ramos's Heka staff is focusing the actual biostatic electricity from my own body and channeled through the ground that then arcs out as Ramos says, "Settle down, abomination," and starts firing it. So I do 4 damage,
4 damage.
but my hit has stun 1.
Stun 1. Okay. And I'm assuming armor protects it?
Armor protects it.
Yeah, cool. So that's 2 damage on that one.
Yep.
And it's stun 1.
So it gets
he has
one
one
less
less
dice
dice
next
next turn.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's the one in front of Marie. And as you're firing off against, you feel just that sort of peppering against your pauldron. Cool. And that is everything. So, top of the round again. The droids are pretty happy where they are, save for this one. That's going to step up
The most distant.
to.
Sorry, I'm just anytime someone says this, I'm just gonna.
Well, yeah, the most distant one
Yeah.
that Ramos just retreated from, who's going to pursue and move closer to the bulk of the squad. But that is their move for them.
Brothers, protect the mortal.
Aye, on it. What do you know of these abominations? From whence do they come?
The Magi here dabbled in abominations. They must be put down. Tech crimes. I was going to say heresy, but that word is not even used for me.
Well,
so-
you might say that, and then I'd follow up with
Heresy.
That's a strong word for it, but an apt one. Cool. I'm the only one who can move,
Yes.
but I am the one that can move.
Do you want to move, though?
I'm a space marine.
Big,
I'm
brave.
I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place because I'm tempted to move back and block the one that might be able to get behind Marie, but that would leave her fighting one on its own that I've already weakened a little bit. So I'm just gonna.
And you also have something ready this turn, don't you?
No, I have to manually reload it.
manual. I see.
I have to shake it like the gun from Halo. God, I'm tempted to though.
Just like, I'm just imagining now that like plasma weaponry is just the extreme evolution of glow stick technology. you have to put it in, you have to crack it and then shake it and then put it in. Like,
I am not going to move.
not going to move. Okay.
I have a rules question. The reduced damage for being in combat, is that your target being in combat or just you being in combat at all?
So,
Example, if I shot to the other side of the room, would I still be doing less damage?
no.
Okay.
But currently, obviously there may be penalties and stuff for doing that we need to include, but currently there aren't. You're a
Okay.
space marine, so of course you can stand there and shoot someone else. Why not?
Yeah.
If everyone thinks that's fine.
no, that sounds good to me. Yeah,
That's right. That's why we're testing.
yeah.
I think in the future there will be a penalty, like a dice penalty to fight shooting someone else when you're in combat, but
Yep,
it's
yep,
fine
yep.
for now.
I'm not moving. Marie is not moving.
Cool. In that case, we're going to have, once again, the same one that was just repelled by Marie's shield is going to take another swing. The half bisected one in front of Gunnar is going to continue its ruthless assault. The two on either side of Cineric are now going to both just attack with melee, and the other one that is just pushed on after Ramos is going to keep firing at Ramos.
Do I still have the benefit of the cover? Does it end at the...
Ends at your
Start the
turn.
phase.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
the
it's
turn.
only from ranged attacks.
Yeah. Okay. That also just sort of makes the point moot. Cool.
Yeah.
Gunnar will proceed to
You do have a
recklessly
cheat
attack
on
his
move
foe.
for-
Reckless.
Reckless attacking.
Yeah.
What's Marie doing?
Marie is going to drop her sword and pull out her gun, her pistol.
They're both one-handed, so
Well, both of them then.
Bangity, bangity, bang.
you're going to pull out both your pistols.
Yes.
You can do that with a sword
That's.
and a pistol.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah. So she keeps her sword and then pulls out her other pistol.
Which pistol from your brace of pistols?
So
pistol?
So she's pulling out her Architect pistol.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing what could be a glimmer of competence from this baseline human, perhaps overconfidence.
That was my nickname in high school.
So where was this one that had shot me before? Is it continuing to shoot me?
It is continuing to
Okay,
shoot.
in that case,
He's literally like basically just like Terminator style, just essentially lumbering forward and just firing repeatedly at you.
taking a panting breath from the exertion of my own bioelectricity being used, I am going to do the most boring thing in the world and cool down my plasma pistol. Yes, that's it for me.
Come on, you son of a...
Show me what you can do, mortal.
And Cineric, what were you doing?
Cool. Well, I'm going to use move and fire once again, using my mobility to tie down the enemy and confuse them. I say, brother, your superiority is showing. I'm going to move in between the two with the guns.
I'm so short.
And then while I'm sort of getting in their way, I'm going to just turn slightly and aim my bolter towards the melee variant that I left behind.
Okay. So you've moved to here and you're firing at the one that you've left behind, yep. So, okay, we'll deal with that when we come to, because that's what I was talking about before.
He can't attack.
He can't attack.
So it is actually allowable so that players can befuddle it. Because
There we go.
Does that cost spirit?
Nope, that's the free one.
Okay, so that is literally like a class-specific ability that lets him be a pain like that.
I see.
Yeah, that's part of the reasoning for letting us move, knowing what the meaning
but of course
it.
villains can do the same thing to
yeah.
players. So that's where they get to be cheeky.
Excellent. So, starting, let's go with Marie first.
Sure.
Because that also means that I can get the one that has stun out of the way quickly.
You're
Yes.
still unallowed.
How many do you need?
So it's the same
So you're
attack.
using dual wield. This is the first time this card's ever been used, and I'm very excited.
So use the sword.
So you get your choice. But, in this case, you need to use swords. So you have
I hate this dice mechanic. I just immediately hate it. Because apparently it doesn't like me.
Chat, you're getting such a showcasing of new things.
So you got
cool.
5 successes. Okay.
It got 1.
Yay.
So the way this works is, so this is dual wield. This is something we're trialing for 2 weapons. It's a pistol skill. So
Can Jen explain it? Seeing as it is her ability. Okay.
No,
never mind.
No,
Oh,
I'd
good.
rather. I don't want to get it wrong, and it's
you're welcome to.
no. You do it.
Most of the
I'll
stuff
explain-
hasn't
No.
been
Like,
used.
apologies.
Normally, that would be a polite way to do it, but because it's in development, it should be explained.
Yeah, I'm only
That's right.
trying to explain
It was more that I'm just like just because before I was just noticing that it was like he was doing, like you were sort of sitting there. I'm like, it's your thing. You should be excited
No,
about it. But like,
If I explain how it's used once, then I won't do it again.
that's all good. It's all
So
good.
next
as,
time-
as long as it's a mutual thing. It's like
Yeah.
So for clarity for everyone, the way this works, because Jazz has got it too, and I've got it too. So if you're wielding a pistol in your other hand that you did not select to attack, so this can be used with any weapon. So she can choose to use her blades and then use her blade skill. You then expend 1 ammo from the weapon and add the damage to the attack, but none of the special rules. So that's really important, and that's what I want to explain. If your gun has like burn 3, you don't get to add that to the attack. You just get the damage.
Okay.
Yeah. So now you can explain what you do.
So my sword does 5 damage and is pierce 3, but then I take an ammo from the architect pistol, which is damage close
Yep,
range,
you're
so
in close
damage
range.
2.
Yep.
So that's
is that all counted as the
7?
same lot of damage?
7 damage.
so 7.
7 damage
Yep.
total.
Yes.
With Pierce 3.
Cool. Which PS3
Way.
change like means that none of that even matters. But you, like drawing your pistol, you drive your blade down as it carves into, like, basically in an opposite way to Gunnar, like carves down into the shoulder to the sternum. As it's sort of snarling and snapping at you, you put the pistol straight into its face and just like its head just shatters backwards. That one's dead.
Marie lets out like a ha.
Impressive! You can fight. Let's see if my brothers can keep up.
It's the one voice she doesn't want to hear, right? Cool. Moving on to Ghana and the droid in front of him. You're recklessly attacking.
Yeah, my claw is still embedded in this thing, so I'm just going to launch and wrench over my shoulder to.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. That's
real good at these.
That's fine.
real good at dice.
Thanks for letting us live this power fantasy.
That's cool.
He got 1.
I'm just here so Dave can play.
We all appreciate it.
Okay, and that's +1 damage, so 4 damage with Pierce 1. But I mean,
Yeah, it had nothing left. Like, again, you turn around and with just this, it's like incredible uppercut, just tear straight through its head, like keels over to one side as it's just torn completely in half. That one is also dead. I'm just going to roll again to shoot you, just because that's the other like front of one.
4 or 5 defensive.
2. So
You're basically rolling the same thing every time.
I need to swap these out. I'm going full.
Rotate the dice. Bring out the
Rotate the dice. Which is weird because usually mages I roll ridiculously well. Yeah, so again, you, like, as you're shaking it, you sort of duck your head as this thing, like, shoots an array, like, this sort of just scattered bolts over your head. Cinetic. So you have, well, you've got 1 melee attack against you, and then you're firing against the other one. So neither of those have been damaged. So the 3 closest to you have not been damaged yet.
No, I did 2.
Which is, he has 2 defense.
He has 2 armor.
Cool. Yep.
Nothing.
1, 2, 6. Is it 6 times 2?
that's 6.
That's 6.
Okay, cool. 6.
6 is indeed higher than 1. So,
Booyah. Excellent. All right, I'll take it.
I don't
Playing
know.
high-level characters is fun.
Trying to figure out what sort of curse you've placed on these that it's anti-dragon, but I don't like.
Yeah, it's the Dave gets to beat up little things when he gets to play.
This is Dave fulfilling his power fantasy.
Yeah, it's not the dice. It's that we made the minion stats.
There's only 1 success painted on each.
Yeah.
So you shot it.
Yep.
Yeah, so you've hit.
Definitely fire off the bolter. The bolter this time does 6 damage with 1 bleed.
Does 6 damage?
Yep.
With, sorry, 6 damage with what? Sorry?
1 bleed.
1 bleed, cool. So fire off it. The first, few bolts just pop against, sort of dinting its frame. Finally, you see a few like plates just fly off it, and a few these sort of exploded holes open up. The one next to you is going to attack you. No. You got a 3. What did you roll for it again? I realized I probably 6, so I literally needed to match you. Cool. So the other one's like, as you're like shifting around to fire, it takes a swipe at you, and just you feel it just sink off the ceramide of your armor.
Yeah, I'm just sort of like jostling them, knock them aside as I fire off and nail this one across the room. Gunnar, have you stopped for a breather?
I've just.
I'm not witty.
Say something funny, man.
No, I was just busy actually killing my foe.
Oh, brilliant work, mate.
Okay.
I'll praise you after I finish with these 3.
Yes, take your time if you must.
So is it the next
round?
Get to move.
Yes. The droids. These 2 are going to turn on Cineric, him now being the closest one. The furthest one to the left or right is going to push in to attack Gunnar.
Oh, that stops me being able to move.
Yes. It's like I planned that, but I didn't.
Even the enemies are getting impatient with you. They're coming to me for a swifter deal.
I just thought you could handle the stragglers, that's all.
That one's injured, right?
It's
This one you shot at.
Yes, that's the. Yeah. It's got like various sort of pock holes just scattered across it.
It's missing some important things.
Yes.
Okay.
Excellent. So
Otherwise,
that's their
no-
move. Everyone else.
Well-
Well, actually, Marie's the only one that can
Marie's
move.
the only one who can move.
And I'm not going to. I'm going to stay exactly where I am.
Ah, excellent. So that's going to be the two on either side of Ceneric are going to attempt to drag him down, and the one attacking Gunner is going to do the same for him.
I am quite simply going to bull rush this enemy, charging and slamming him away as I finish him off.
Very good. Yes, Wolf. Take down the carrion. You finish the wounded while we deal with the others.
I am no wolf. I am wolf no longer. I am bear.
He says as he sort of charges forward.
So Marie and Ceneric. What do you?
I am going to, given that this tactical situation has changed, I am going to fire my plasma pistol.
So I did pick a useless ability. I'm just going to change my mind. I just use a normal attack. I'm like, none of that makes sense for here. But anyways, ignore me.
That's all good.
I still stomp
Yeah.
towards him and attack.
I am going to spend my.
I love your little
first
Primosa Baywatch run.
Yeah.
I am going to use tactical reload as I line up my plasma gun towards the one behind Ceneric, attacking him from behind. And I line up my plasma pistol and I use tactical reload, spending spirit.
Excellent.
All right, I see Remos getting his shot ready, and wordlessly, for only Gunnar is worthy of my words, the enemy is not.
That is so sweet.
I'm going to wordlessly clamp my bolter to my armor and bring out, with a bit of a crack of the neck, my chainsword.
I don't have the sound effect for it.
Which, are we saying that would take an action?
No,
to do that? Or
I think
faster?
again that'll be something we add a penalty to for swapping equipment in combat. There'll be like a neg 2 to your dice roll for that turn or something.
Yep.
You reckon?
Yes. I 100% reckon, because people in games that don't have those rules abuse the absolute.
okay.
Yeah, or just like
They'll be like,
one
I
less
fire
dice.
both my
Yeah.
one-shot pistols, drop them, and pull out 2 more. And it's just like,
Yeah.
come on, buddy.
Yeah, okay.
So it's
Yeah,
just
that'll
an easy
shake.
way to meta game.
Minecraft hotbar full of crossbows.
Yeah, exactly. With fireworks in them.
Excellent. Cool. All right.
Which one are you attacking?
Cool.
Emily?
Well, I'm going to target the furthest one from everyone, the one not being targeted by Ramos with cleave.
Excellent. And Marie.
So Marie swivels around and aims her pistol at the same one that Ramos is firing at.
Oh, it's a shoot off.
It's going to have a bad day.
That's going to have a very bad day. Excellent. So let's start with the one-on-one roll-off, which is once again Gunner.
Reckless attack. 5.
We
4.
outpower these things so much.
So much. I was just thinking, I can't wait to run something that'll actually be a challenge.
This is so everyone knows we're Space Marines and we're strong. And then when we die later, everyone will be like, but they were so strong.
Excellent. So
He wins.
he wins. So
yeah.
you how much damage is that?
4 1 pierce.
4 1 pierce. So 3. Yeah. So you charge forward, again slamming your claws into, so the ribcage just wrenching straight across the front of it, lifting it up into the air as it's even as it falls apart, being hanging from various cables and wires as it just slams down onto the ground in 2 parts.
In 2 parts, I'll just.
Yeah. Excellent. So let's jump on to Ceneric with the 2 over here. So Ceneric's attacking this one. So we'll resolve that one, and then we can resolve the other one with it attacking.
Let's get it.
Oh my gosh, you got 5.
Yay!
Now watch him get 9. It's
No, you got 3. You beat him.
Yeah.
You beat his roll.
Guys.
Look, he's so proud. That was good. Yay.
It happened.
And Siberic's like, oh no, I'm actually a god.
I accidentally put you on a megaphone, so that sort of works.
So, Cineric, as you turn to sort of slam your chainsword into this thing, it leaps, grabbing hold, essentially leaping like over your elbow. Your elbow collects at the midpoint as it drives these claws sort of straight into the neck of your armor, like getting over the gorget, like straight into through the sleeves into your flesh. So you take it'd be 5 points of damage due to as the other one's about to attack you, but it is targeting you. So as this one, as it grabs hold and starts to literally just sort of like rend, you feel it starting to like pull you forward and downwards.
Alright, it does 5 damage, so my armor negates 4 of that.
Space Marine!
So you got confident there?
So if anyone's looking for a game master, and the other one's going to roll its attack against Cineric, which is also going to be the combat roll for both of your shots. So, what did you got? A 3. Nope.
I love that. You described that really well. It was very cool. Could we just alter the description to make it like they paw at his armor like a cat against a door?
They got a finger in. That's pretty impressive. They
Not the way that I want
And
it.
gods do bleed.
Not the way that I want it known, but you know,
Talon-pierced flesh.
he got a finger in. I realized I completely no, because that's the other ones, not these ones.
Ree's gonna shoot.
What did you use? What was your ability?
Well, I was about to ask. So I was going to dual wield, but then I wanted to use my other pistol. So
You were meant to have
can
already
whip that out.
chosen.
Yeah, what did you choose to do?
was the dual wield, but like I can just shoot, right? Because the problem is that so I have 2 different pistols, right? So then is there a penalty for me pulling out the other
There is
pistol?
currently not.
Yeah, that kind of.
There's currently not a penalty for doing it.
Okay.
So just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Okay.
Well, I'll add a penalty between this week and next week.
Because it's kind of silly to
I'll add it
just
to
be
our
like,
damage.
Yeah, it is,
I
it is.
hold all 3 weapons at once.
That's 5 successes.
Yeah.
So what was the other pistol? Describe.
So the other
We wanna hear
pistol
about
that I
the pistol.
have, so this is a ranged pistol. I can't use it in close combat. Is a needle pistol from the Drakari.
Yes, it's a
homunculi.
homunculi covered needle pistol.
And it causes
sweet.
poison, but it only has 2 ammo. And it does 2 damage. No. Yes, sorry, 2 damage at range.
So you combine them, but it doesn't do. Well, which is your primary weapon? Because you have to pick which one is.
So I want to poison him.
Okay, so that means you lose your pierce, but you gain poison.
That's cool.
Cool. So it's 5 damage with poison 1.
Okay. So wait, 5 damage, poison 1. Okay. Excellent. Cool. So you can roll.
Yes. Let's see if my plasma pistol does plasma pistol things.
Does it do the trick?
I'm worse with my pistol than the mortal. Four.
Yeah. So that beats it.
So this does at range. It does 4 damage with pierce 2, burn 1.
Okay. 4 damage, PS2, Dermo 1. So as you spin to fire, there is just a blast of 2 shots firing simultaneously. You watch as the this, I assume, by this description, a pistol fires a needle. Correct.
Yeah, it's like a cylinder, a micro cylinder of glass.
The
or something.
Halo gun.
So it, so it fires off. You see this, sort of small crater appear essentially straight through the, its forehead, and then suddenly the entirety of its like upper quadrant is just gone in a blast of blue plasma. That one is also dead.
And as it melts down into slag, because I use tactical reload, Ramos, like the plasma pistol is flaring with heat, pulls his other hand forward, which is holding the Heka staff, but he actually maglocks it briefly, throws his hand onto the superheated cylinders on top of the plasma gun, and just like the heat just dissipates through his body and out into his body, and I automatically and immediately reload the gun as part of my action. So yeah.
Very
Cool.
Pavoni.
Not saying he's a heretic, but
Heresy, that's just librarian stuff.
excellent.
As the weapon goes evil.
So as that one falls, there's one left just like clambering over Ceneric, still trying to sort of punch these claws into the neck, trying to pry his helmet off and sort of pulling him down. But he's not going to move.
Neither.
They don't do shock tests, do they? Because, they're too brave. They're too friendly.
They're fearless.
Yeah.
They are, in fact, fearless, yes.
I think we're all just going to gang up on it and murder it.
Yeah. You hold one end, Ceneric holds the other end, and we do it like a Christmas popper.
I hold my hand up to. Have you killed one yet?
No.
No. So I hold my hand up to the other two and say,
Hot. Let him have one.
Do you desire glory, brother?
He's trying really hard.
Gunnar, I already let you have 2 this combat.
Oh, you let me, did you?
Yes, I literally
As
let
I
him walk
recall,
towards
one
you.
of them got bored.
Sort of like
from
batting this thing away.
I let you have it.
one of them got bored from not being dealt with quickly enough.
Is that the one you started holding or the second one?
I'm going to move to here.
Yeah, can you move me just that way? Up. Yep.
And then line up my plasma pistol on while they're talking and batting it away.
Yeah.
All right.
And I say, one may be a joke to you, but 1,000 a threat. And I'm going to fire. What do you guys? Let's finish it.
So it's just going to keep trying to pry at Ceneric.
Gunnar's not going to engage in combat. He's actually going to turn around and start investigating the corpses.
Okay. Coward.
Well, I'm going to try and dislodge
Yeah,
the
I know.
creature and throw it into the ground and then finish it off with a chainsword.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. Marie?
Marie sighs and is going to tactical reload this round, and she, under her breath, says, "Children."
Okay. Well, I'm going to roll the one last combat roll.
Roll like
4? You got 4.
No, man.
All right. Now, I'm about to use rapid strike, so I get to roll twice.
Oh.
That's a
One.
success.
That's a one.
Is it keep your best roll? Or
Finally, the tables have turned.
Oh my god.
Ooh, Murray.
Ceneric just forgot how to
That's
fight.
It's really hard to attack something that is latched onto your face.
how the tables turn.
How the tables turn.
And I'm firing my joyous plasma pistol and getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Cool. So
I'm going to take one of its legs off because they're flailing.
yeah, the downside to this. So there's an upside and there's a downside. The upside is I got another hit. The downside is your armor negates all damage.
Good
So
upside.
again, it's like you're feeling these sort of like as you're feeling it like dragging this your helmet sort of pulling against its restraints. You can feel its claws dragging across the ceramite with this horrible like nails on a chalkboard sort of sound that's right in your ears, but it's not getting through. How much damage does your?
I do 4 damage, pierce 2, burn 1.
So 4 damage. PS2 burn 1. Burn is
At the start of its next turn, it takes damage.
yeah, cool. So
That isn't blocked by defense.
yeah. As it's clawing, there's this flash of plasma light as you watch as its legs are just incinerated from the waist down, and it's now just hanging off the front of you, just does some.
Yeah. As that happens, I'm just going to sort of turn to Ramos, like, just stop battling the thing entirely, just sort of turn to him, like, wearing the thing like a game, like, easy.
It's still just sort of swinging from you. Cool. What did you get for your second roll?
2.
Like 2, yeah, no, 1 for both. That's right. I already knew. I just wanted to rub it in. Cool. So that's top of the round again. So I guess do we want to just do that do again to see who kills it, or
Just let him keep trying.
he's getting there? He's working up to something.
Sure, why not?
I'm not going to ask for one move because we got
Same.
I'm back to
You're doing the same thing again, just burning all your spirit. Love it.
Well, no, I think he's just swinging at it at this stage.
Yeah. Oh no, I'll use the different thing.
Okay.
Well, this time I'm going to go to my Hex Staff and just use a regular attack. 3 successes.
Cool.
4 successes. The light was reflecting off that one. And Murray. And the monster.
Is it 4?
4. Yep. So both hit. So so it's another.
Lightning.
Oh, your lightning.
Yeah.
So as you sort of turn around, this creature sort of starts to claw up and is going to make basically a strike for the eyes. But as it does, this lightning suddenly jolts and starts to flail as lightning strikes it, arcing through the metallic structure of this creature. And as it sort of pulls away, sort of momentarily stunned, you slam your chainsword straight into the shoulder and just straight diagonally through, splitting it open with sparks of energy flying off. That one is also dead.
Yay.
And with that, the chamber falls once again, this sort of eerily still, generally just the sound of various sort of sparking robotics and the running of the chainsword.
Check ammo, brothers. Reload, cooldown plasma gun.
Just the echo. So one thing before we getting thinking that just because of sort of knowledge, because there's been a few things surrounding knowledge, something I would like to bring to light, or just bring forward a bit, as well as the strange nature of these robots that you've seen. You've also just witnessed a Anastates use psychic abilities, just as a using warp, sort of librarian abilities. So just take that for what you will. But
Okay. Sorry, just a reminder, environments, characters. Before we turn around and sort of address our newcomer, I just want to have investigated the corpses. You mentioned sort of blue shards and different, I just want to gather the materials of these heretical beings and just sort of pick them up and examine them.
I would say then I would say that would be I would say that's an intelligence test.
Well, could I? Okay. So can I pair that with intuition?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would say you can pair that with intuition.
Okay. Cool.
You're trying to figure, you're trying to sort of understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Along with
Yep. I got 3.
3. Okay. Looking through, you've probably not as much as many others, like some other Astartes chapters. But you've seen a fair bit in your travels of Imperial technology and Xenos technology. Looking through, there appears to be pieces in this that generally most of the makeup of the core of this robot does not appear to be Imperial make. It doesn't hold the same cables or reactors. Instead, it seems to be various shards of what appears to be a broken crystal that are sort of built in like a circuit board, with these sort of various green odd wires, sort of glowing wires.
Will it
attached
be
to them.
familiar to me, or is there something I've seen that it's like?
The green glow that you're seeing from this circuitry, you have generally only ever seen something with that color and intensity before in one place, and that is in any situation that you have come across Necrons.
Okay.
The shards, I don't know how knowledgeable you are. They seem to, even in their dormant state, they seem to almost like swim with this sort of almost like ghostly, like something's moving inside them, even as they're dormant.
I turn to Ramos with my hand in these shards, looking at them speculatively.
These I've only seen in few places, ancient technology. Tell me, what happened here?
Ramos eyes the objects in the hand. I have spent what amounts to years in great manuscripts, reading texts, and learning from my Mechanicum friends. I have never seen the like.
You have.
How?
The shards in his hand.
The shards I have. Okay.
No, so the shards that he has in his hand, these sort of crystals. I'll say you know, because I think you're probably the only one who would.
Okay, so I don't recognize the Necron stuff, though.
No.
But I recognize the other stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
The others appear to be.
Do you want me to make an understanding check?
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely. I would say
what
this
should I
is
do?
just straight up intelligence understanding.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
The good rolls.
I have 10 dice at this. I have 10 dice. And I also think I rolled 2 successes on 10 dice.
3.
3. And.
Glenn McGrath.
Ting tang, walla walla bing.
Damn it! Acuity and intuition, not understanding. Okay, so 3 successes.
The echo clap. Let's make it a thing.
No, that's not. Yes, so these shards, specifically looking at them now, as it's sort of this image comes flooding back to you, and you remember the glow from seeing them active. These are essentially, I don't know what the proper name for. I looked up the proper name for it, and I cannot remember. It is the shards of a gemstone from an Eldar Wraith Knight.
So it's like a soul stone.
Yes.
Those I do know. But you asked me a question, brother.
What?
What befell here?
Indeed.
I was with my ship, the Hatep. We came as part of the 927th Expeditionary Fleet. This world seemed compliant until I uncovered their disturbing practices. They are no longer friends of the Martian Mechanicum.
I see. And your company, your orders.
My orders? To ensure compliance to the Imperial truth, to spread the Emperor's worlds, and bring more into the fold of the great Imperium.
What does that strike a modern space marine like, to bring more into the fold of the Imperium? It's a somewhat different mission to...
Post-Indomitus Crusade, it's potentially still aligns with the Indomitus Crusade a little bit.
I imagine-
It's weird terminology.
Yeah, I imagine it's something that comes across as odd, only in the sense that it's like, you know, in my mind, the Imperium, it's much less now about exploring and, you know, sort of, I guess, for lack of a better word, like preaching compliance, or like, you know, bringing new worlds into compliance, and more about finding, purging, and, you know, freeing the galaxy. Like, this is not, this is an old way of thinking.
I am not familiar with that fleet. However, instigating compliance on a Forge world, that has some fairly secretive, if not dire, ramifications. I imagine then that this was a fairly small undertaking. You said you were with a ship.
Well, our fleet was on the very fringe of space. We sent frigates, strike cruisers to scout individual systems like branches on a tree. My ship was one of these scouts, and as we were met with good gracious welcome, we landed and spoke.
Well, it's not my way to judge the practices of other chapters. There's quite a notable glance at another party member here. However, the fact that you were here to enact compliance on this Forge World looks like it's been cold for a while. I don't know how long you were in stasis there.
Yes, long enough for... Sorry, I have announced myself. Have I caught your name and your origins? You, Vilka Fenrika, keep calling yourself a bear. And as much as I'm amused by the idea of a new grand company of the Great Wolf Lord, I do not know you. Green and cream. You almost look like one of the lions.
Well, you would be astute in your observations. Sneric, Sergeant Sneric, of the 22nd Angels of Redemption. 3rd Squad.
Ah, a fellow line officer. Pleased to make your acquaintance. And your rank?
I am a captain.
Am I a captain?
You're a sergeant as well, actually. Yeah. Unless you've been promoted.
No, I'll
since.
take- okay.
We're all
Yeah,
sergeants.
cool. I didn't know the term.
Sergeant.
Frostclaw, Sergeant of Frontline Infantry. Recently from a battle on the
Out of
snow
PC9.
planet. Thank you. Out of PC9.
With a bow of accent to each of you. Again, still ignoring Marie. Ramos politely bows and says, "As it appears I am in uncharted waters. This operation I cede command to my equally ranked brothers. Who is leading this mission?"
Well, that would be Marie.
He turns almost like suddenly, slowly. Perhaps I have misjudged the situation. Are you perhaps an iterator? A rogue trader militant is what you said, but you fight like someone learned, not a barbarian.
Thank you. My name is Marie. Marie Van Hoss, of the Van Hoss House.
Oh no, a noble.
Do you have a problem with that?
Like neither of us are cracking a smile. We're just looking at you like, this guy's rude.
He's got a certain way with words, doesn't he?
I don't know how long you have been on your mission. Have you perhaps even heard of the recent Indomitus Crusades? You seem quite departed from
Who leads them?
Gilliman.
Ha! Gulliman. Well, naming his crusades very ambitious, but great respect to the great Lord Gulliman. Of course, someone who has written such wonderful notes on martial codification can name his crusades whatever he likes.
At this point, there's this sort of strange, like, sort of ticking noise as Charon, who's been like watching from the side, like up from behind a sort of a desk, like comes forward and like snakes around you, these sort of lights flickering up at the end of his sort of appendages. It seems to sort of peer at you as this clicking sort of is like a tell me, what year is it?
What year?
What year did you go into that?
You know what? Give me a second.
Oh, that's like, generally, like, yeah, just a...
I'm gonna get the exact date.
Okay.
Ah,
He seems to be like, for all the, sort of his pleasantries, I will also point out Charon is staring at you like with what could only be described as a sort of barely restrained greed. Like he's just been shown a plate of mint Mark III armor, and it's just like, oh.
Well, I am to take it more time has passed than I expect. But I am, of course, from 995 M30.
I'm assuming this is just greeted with dead silence.
Yeah, so that is, you would know, it is currently, was it M42?
M42.
So it is 12,000 years ago.
You are from before
I look at Cynaric.
Before you repainted your armor, brother, yes. It would seem. So, how fares this Indomitus crusade? Surely we must be almost finished conquering.
What cloth are you cut from, brother?
What cloth? The Third Fellowship of the Pavonia. I've told you this.
Much has transpired. But
Can I
perhaps...
also point out, neither of you have any idea what the Bavoni is.
Yeah.
Like,
Perhaps a conversation for when we return to the ship, but we should check for any more signals or anything nearby before we leave ourselves vulnerable.
I have a demi-company of Marines in this base.
Like yourself, I say, looking at your armor.
My brothers.
Charon's like head just twists, it like looks to the two of you and seems to ponder for a moment. It's just, we've come across no other life signs or Astartes on this planet. But, and you see like his eyes flicker for a moment as he sort of looks around. He says, the release of energy from your stasis field appears to have unmasked or revealed a few more further in to the complex.
More what?
Signals, power signatures. There's more inside. You also get the sense from the way he's talking and sort of as from various speech patterns from him that he wants to go further. Like there's something else
What is
in
their
there.
pattern? Do they match what we found? The one we followed?
Could they be my brothers?
Possibly.
We must go. Or battle brothers of the Emperor lie entrapped.
At this point, sort of suddenly regaining some of that intensity that I had upon finding Ramos for the first time, I want to walk right up to him, like right up to his face, and just say,
For the Emperor until death, and then forever after I am required.
and sort of like wait as if like waiting for some sort of answer.
Is that something I should know the answer to?
No, just affirmation.
Okay. That is a statement we all agree in. For the Epicimus, for the Emperor, for the great Primarchs, we do this, rescue our brothers. I know our legions have not always seen eye to eye, brother, but we are cousins, and my men are in danger.
Then we are good. For now. Indeed.
Your suspicion is warranted given the circumstances, but I do not like the look in your eyes.
12,000 years, Sinhari.
What? What did you say? 12,000 years? What? No, your humor, your mind is addled with mjod.
He doesn't know.
That was one way to break the news to him, I suppose.
Charon like twists, and you see as this happens, like all of Charon like bunches as he's like turns like very almost timidly to you and is like, we are currently in the year M42.
And then why is this forsaken rock free of the Imperial truth 12,000 years after I set out to claim it? What is wrong here?
That is what we are here to find out.
We must discover what happened and perhaps unbury some of your brothers. Restoration may be yet had.
Unbury may have been an unwise choice of words.
Ramos turns his back on the group and like takes a few paces away. Just stands with his back to everyone.
Question.
Forgive me, I'm not often known for my tact.
No,
Dragon obviously knowing what you are, right? All that sort of stuff. Would Charon? Like, would he recognize it? Or like I'm very happy for him not to. But
I think unless he's a pretty high-ranking man, like it's literally the knowledge of it is expunged from the Imperium.
So he wouldn't know. Okay. He is like both very wary and also generally looking at you being like, how quickly can I get? And what's the quickest way that I can get this armor on? Yes.
I take it. Oh, sorry.
No, you can.
I was going to say I walk a few steps to Marie and say perhaps the ship might be informed about changing priorities.
Yes, I'll make a Vox call as soon as possible. But otherwise, gentlemen, if we're quite done, we should continue our journey. I believe staying here is not going to progress it any further. Space Marines, you may lead the way.
We need answers. We will probably best moving as a group, all together, and we will find something with some truth or something to break. That is all we need.
While they've been having this conversation for like a good 20 minutes, Marie is going to pocket some of the shards that have been in the droids that we just fought because she thinks they might be valuable.
Okay.
And actually gives some to Charon as well.
Charon, like from the side, he sort of takes it. Is he?
Can I have perception check? Can I just see if I notice that?
Sure. So it would be. Would it be? I'm trying to.
Acuity what?
No, so for you would it be? So it's always like it would be acuity. Finesse or
Acuity reflex.
acuity reflexes because you're trying to catch it, or it's entirely based on you're not actually looking for it. It's entirely just if you catch it. For you, I would say it's I would say a finesse if you're trying to hide it.
What is it? Aren't you rolling against a stat or is it a challenge level?
Yeah, I don't think it's trying to hide. I'm just saying.
I don't care because I don't think anyone would. They all know we're here for an expedition.
Well, then you roll.
I only got one, so when you say back turn,
You're
I'm
super distracted.
Yeah. You're like completely absorbed in, and also as someone who is only just coming to terms with the fact that there is a human in charge of Astartes, like you're.
It's happened before. I can deal with that.
But
other news is harder to suddenly have broken.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on for you at the moment. You are completely distracted.
Right. While Ramos is sort of off muttering to himself,
I look at Cyneric and say,
Perhaps we should take the lead on this expedition.
yes.
So you take a few of these shards, pulling them out. They sort of spark slightly as you pull them out. They feel like a sort of hewn gemstone or glass. As you feel, you sense Charon's presence as he sort of like wafts around you to lean down and look. You hold one out to him as one of these sort of, tentacle appendages grabs and sort of holds it in front of his face. This sort of read at like the general sort of like twisting and growing and loosening of light in his eyes. This is odd. This is Xenos technology, Eldar Necron, this is heretic. What were they doing? What were they trying to achieve? It seems vile.
Well, it'll fetch a it'll fetch a good price either way.
I don't think it will. And you see, you can definitely, like, from the way he seems, this is something like, as I said, you expected, very much expected Charon to be intrigued, excited. With this seems to trouble him,
Okay.
like, quite deeply, to not beyond even the point of him thinking, like, these are tainted robots because they're dead, like, it shouldn't matter. But there's something, you gather that there's something that he seemed very excited and sort of eager for before that is now starting to dampen.
Okay.
To finish off our conversation, I'm gonna sort of like clap one hand on Gunmar's shoulder and state,
I sort of want to start a conversation. I want to walk ahead with you and that they'll sort of catch up behind, but we sort of like...
all right, we can do that. We can do that.
Yeah.
All right. You look like you have something to say.
12,000 years, brother. He doesn't know.
In fact, precious little is known.
But imagine all the things we know, we worship, we mourn over. The God Emperor himself.
Pious one.
It could break him. However, the mind is weak. Actions serve the Emperor the best.
The truth that lies ahead will reveal much.
It will test his ire like no other. We will have our answers, either ahead of us or back on the ship.
I'd like to throw out there might be a little bit of curiosity as well once things settle down. Like, hey, oh my God, sorry, how long ago? Sorry, height of the human empire. Sorry, what was that like?
Yeah.
You walked with the Primarchs?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we start exploring. I'm going to...
Bye.
well,
you're
we
not-
sort of leading the... You're not following?
No.
Oh, well, as we sort of walk to what looks like a deeper and we turn and not being followed, I look inquiringly back like...
He's just standing with his back to the group, just like standing there.
Sergeant,
Amon. Scythiga. Memphia. Hasta. Imoden Vanek Thot Mesatep Luxantep.
All right, I'll handle this. You and your tact stay back over here. I'm gonna stride back into the room up to Ramos. Sergeant Ramos, I fear that we have perhaps erred. We did not wish to dwell on what might be plaguing your mind. If you have a piece to say, I will hear it.
Do you read much, Sineric?
I admit, no, I do not. I leave that to others.
What does the library look like on your world? On Caliban?
I do not know. There is precious left even amongst our fortress monastery, many of which is probably held secret.
I am a master of myself.
I also look incredibly shifty while I give these half-truths.
Doesn't even suspect, just because it's so abhorrent.
Would there be anything deceptive in what you're saying?
I'm not even going to attempt to.
Okay.
You can freely deceive me because it is so alien to me that there could be blood level animosity between a brother. Not a concept I'm willing to even comprehend. I have studied the Great Path. The news is dire. But I rise my mind into the enumerations. I separate myself from my emotion.
Oh, yeah, well, that must be weirder than even this guy over here.
My brothers may need me. We will find them and then deal with the intervening years I have missed. My captains. Hathor Mart. There are leagues between us now. I must catch up.
One can only hope so. You know what? How about a deal? You can ask questions, I will answer, and then perhaps I will ask some questions. As long as we all walk in the same path for the glory of the Imperium.
Yes. Well, we shall. And begins walking. And the first question immediately asked is, you are not a scribe, you are not a farmer, you are not a poet, you are not a scientist, you are not an iterator or a remembrancer, you wear battle plate and hold a gun. So, there is still war here in M42 then? We still have a purpose?
As you're sort of moving and from the distance, I sort of...
There is only war, brother.
He said the lines.
For better or worse, I am afraid you'll find that there has only ever been bloodshed.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready to face some things. Let me contemplate. There are things that are obvious to me. If the legions still walk, the Empire has not fared well. The Emperor's dream, no. I do not wish to know. Not yet. The Imperial truth is still alive in my heart. Let it stay alive a while longer.
Then I will not question your Imperial truth. And I will respect your silence for now, brother.
You may ask me questions. I assure you, where I'm from, things are wonderful.
Well, the first most pressing one is where were your brothers located when you were last here, from your memory? The rest we can discuss on the journey.
Deeper in the facility, I believe. I was in the command control node at the entrance. They were investigating some of the lower facilities. Some were still on the Hatep. But a demi company was down here. If that's...
A demi company, brother.
How much is that?
50 Marines.
Okay, cool. That's a lot, yeah.
Which is a lot by
Yeah.
40k standards, but less after the Indominus Crusade. Now my turn. By what gene freakdom are you so tall, brother? You look like one of the 20th.
I carry a mound of earth around me.
Fourth wall breaking model thing. But you're a Primaris Marine, and you're like 6 inches taller than me.
Yeah.
I like the idea of you just walking and then moving the rock and then walking over the rock. And then
Break. Yeah, no, sorry, that's a generic question.
Half turn to Marie. So, looks like it's my turn for the... I am admittedly not also a tech marine, nor one of our apothecaries, so my answers may not satisfy you in the least, O quizzical one. However, I will say that there have been strides to further the Imperium, and just as armor has changed, so too perhaps has some of the more biological builds.
it stands to reason that if a threat has risen so great to damage the great and wonderful Imperium, that the Emperor has in his wisdom created refinements to our brotherhood.
If a name is what you require, then Primaris will probably suffice you.
Ah, yes.
For that is the stock from which I am.
Fair enough. New generation of young whippersnappers. He smiles, clearly not that old himself as a Marine, but joking into the fact that he's been around for so
He's
long.
now 12,000 years old.
Gunnar is older than him by far.
Yeah. As we walk, I just conversationally say,
Warp magic, Ramos. What is your specialization, your focus?
So I am a Pavoni. That is my fellowship, and it is the temple I study under. Our artistry is similar to your rune priests, I believe you call them. Librarians, but my talent is in biomancy.
So, if I'm not mistaken, yes, you'd know, like, yeah, there's the general idea among, I know at least among the wolves, but among the, and I don't know if that extends to the bears, but for the wolves at least, it's they have the idea that, generally speaking, psychers, including librarians, are generally evil. Like, it's not, it's a very dangerous, sort of act, sort of thing to dabble in. They completely believe that rune priests are a different thing, whereas essentially
They're identical.
Essentially, it's like they go, because essentially they've said that no, psychers or librarians dabble in the powers of the warp, meaning that they're working in the same area, working with the same energy as chaos. Whereas rune priests use the storm, which is generally a much more shamanistic sort of environmental thing when they are. Anyway, but that is what the way I imagine you would see it.
okay.
Dark Angels, I'm pretty sure they still use librarians, so that would be that would still be okay.
Yeah. They believe their psychic abilities are not derived from the warp, but from the spirit of Fenris. So they're deluded librarians.
So would I see what he was doing as
That is
controversial?
entirely up to you.
It is worth noting that every other chapter has librarians, and while you might distaste them, if I declare myself as a librarian, it's more of a you would dislike me, not that you'd be like, that's evil, because Space Marines have librarians. Like Ultramarine librarians don't get stabbed by Space Wolves.
So, did you have another question?
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah. I just said we make conversation.
Yeah.
Probably not cautious to not dig too deep as we're,
As you are walking, whoever's essentially trying to keep sort of a watch, or like keeping mostly like sort of a watch on the area around.
Yeah, that's you're leading from the front.
Yeah,
I'll probably be
I'll
back
stay in front.
protecting Marie this time.
Cool.
Yep.
So from the back then, you would both start to hear this slow, steady thud. It's very light at first, comes with like a tap almost, and then slowly turns into, as it seems to be getting closer, this sort of more of like a heavy metal sort of footfall.
Tech priest. I don't suppose that's an engine or a fabricator
It's a little
starting.
bit big. That's okay. So I'm like listening to that, I'm like, that's yeah, watch me miss this time. Turning around, you start to hear this low, raspy, croaking voice. Is it? Further up the back, you see this single droid. It looks different to the ones you fought before, though. Whereas this one is the large majority of its body is metallic. You can see there are portions of long weathered and rotted bones in between certain places. Some of them are snapped, but still, sort of hanging from its body. ragged scraps of weathered, almost like dark brown to red cloth hang off its body as it staggers forward with these janky steps, its eyes flickering with this pale, ghostly blue light. And as it approaches, it seems to not so much be addressing anyone, but just speaks, and it says, "We were alone, darkness, but we are alone no longer. We walk in his garden. Only he brings light to the darkness. Grandfather." And then he lets out this bellowing screech, his jaw like hanging open impossibly wide as like 4 or 5 others rise to life around him. And that's where we're going to end this session.
4 or 5.
Pardon?
Query
Of the
retracted.
smaller droids, I imagine, yeah.
These, yeah, they appear to be like similar, like sort of a similar size to the ones before, but yeah.
Cool. We'll figure it out next week.
I'll just be, Ramosa will just be very confused. And you guys will be like, Nurgle cracks that. And Ramosa's going to be like, what is that? Why is it vomiting?
What grandfather do you speak
I have
of?
never fought something that vomits so profusely.
Why is there so much vomit in this year?
I'm glad I can opt to have no sense of smell. The greatest
Hell
gift of the
yeah.
pony.
Thank you all so much for joining us. Well done, Dragon. Well done, everyone.
Thank you very much.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you to Legend Keeper
Yeah.
for sponsoring the video.
Thank you, Legend Keeper.
Thank you, Legend Keeper.
Go check it out. Get your free trial with the link in the description.
Thank you to the patrons that are scrolling across the screen. We've got to thank our patrons because we're going to go and have a Discord after party with them. We're going to hang out with them. We're going to do some knitting together. That's a lie. We're going to hang out with them. We're not going to do the knitting.
Sorry.
Or are we?
And thank
You'll
you,
never know unless you're
Imperium,
there.
for having such a cool playlist.
And let's hope this doesn't end with me getting gutted by Gunnar Frostclaw.
There are so many things I'm so excited for your character to find out.
If you try and gut me, I'm going to light you on fire. I'm just telling you, I have the power to light things on fire.
Okay, all
I will
right.
light you
Stay
on
tuned and
fire.
find out. Bye.
Goodbye.